Welcome, Miracle Makers. We are live for you. This is Dr. Sarah Larson in Sunset Gower Studios, UBN. I've got my Miracle Maker husband with me, Greg. Woo!
Welcome, Miracle Makers. How are you doing today? Dr. Sarah, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. I'm one of my favorite people in studio with me, and dear friends that are here for you, Miracle Makers. These are incredible, legendary. We've got Lisa Haisha and Romolo Canzilis in studio.
Crowd is going wild.
They are going wild. My heart is going wild. Yes. Miracle Makers, it's when you've got someone that you admire, respect, and cherish across from you. It's you want to reach out and hug them, wrap your legs around them. Like with Lisa, she does such incredible things in the Los Angeles community and worldwide. She has built a foundation that helps give children voices around the world. She's a soul blazer. She's a legend to me. And I can't believe I've manifested you into my life. To me, your friendship is such a miracle. There's so much I could say about you. I'd love for you to say about yourself. What our Miracle Makers should know about you.
Well, wow, what an introduction. You should be in the war room with us producing this event. Oh, it's really wonderful when you have a vision and you could start seeing it come together, especially when you share it with beautiful people like yourself and Romolo and the rest of my team. I've got about 10 people who are key that help put this together, and then great friendships like with both of you and other people who really get the word out. So it's wonderful to not only do your passion, but make change in the world, because that's really what it's about. You know, you can't take all your money with you, and you can't survive without giving love and receiving love. And what better way to do that than with children at the forefront of any mission that you do.
So we're talking about the legacy galas that you throw. Yes, you throw these amazing galas every year and have incredible recipients receive from you recognition, receive from the community, and receive the ability to continue on their work. I was so fortunate to be at the last event, and everyone up on stage that was receiving was in tears in front of the, I would say, Hollywood royalty, sharing how much it means that you are recognizing, that the community is recognizing their work. This is one of the most wonderful events that happen here, where video, where songs, where the sharing of these stories, that you created this platform to give a voice to those that are creating and those that are served. And so the legacy galas are legendary.
Okay. We'll run with that. Yeah, they're really unique, because there's a lot of other galas that Romolo and I have been going to several, for months now, and they're very different. A lot of them have auctioneers and they auction off stuff, and it's like a party. Celebration, poker table, it's all really raising money, which is phenomenal. But we're trying to do the same thing, but also showing talent, bringing entertainment, A-list performers, as well as finding people like yourself, people who are doing great work, but a lot of people don't know about it, and they constantly need funding. The bigger celebrities, they have the money. When you see all these wonderful people like Angelina Jolie's doing great work around the world, but they are so funded, by themselves, and other people help them because of their name, and take them wherever they need to go. So I'm trying to look for people who are doing great work, like grassroots level, started something, have this idea, but don't have the money to finish it. And it's like, okay, you need support, and let everyone know about you. So if we could get, 100 or, 1,000 people doing these little grassroots efforts, Los Angeles could shift completely. We could get rid of the homelessness, get rid of recidivism in our prisons. We could feed everybody. Everyone could have a home. You know, no one's homeless. Everyone has a place, and they feel loved. They feel belonged. So that's the bigger vision.
Wow.
So the gala is about giving back to people who are doing this work, and it's about my foundation going out and holding events all year to help raise money and raise awareness, which is the big thing. So it's a lot of fun because when you're seeing change and you're seeing people cry, you're watching people's dreams come true. It's like I get to be Oprah for a night. And behind door number 3, it's a car, you know, it's $10,000, you know. And it's because it's so much money, because sometimes that's all they need is a seed money to get it going. That other people see what they're doing, then more money comes in.
It's so beautiful. You are part of it this year. How did you get to be part of it this year, and why does this matter so much to you?
Well, I was supposed to be part last year.
Yes.
Starting from that. But, you know, the time is right.
Yes.
Always the time is right. And I believe, and you know, in this, in what she does right now, I'm been working with city officials. We're going to give a recognition from the Congress, from the mayor, Eric Garcetti. He's going to give her a recognition for all the tireless work that she does for the community. So I'm feeling very happy and glad to be part of this.
Yes.
You know,
Romulo's been around a long time. He comes from a political family, and
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We've gone to several galas, and everyone knows Romulo. He is a walking heart.
A walking
heart with legs and arms. And wherever he goes, he's beloved within the community because he's been giving back for decades. That's his whole mission. Sometimes he doesn't take care of himself as much. He's taking care of everybody else. But he's legendary in the world of philanthropy and getting the right people together. So you wanted to introduce us. This other friend of ours that he worked on, this opera singer Nick Palance, wanted to introduce us. Sue Wong wanted to introduce us. So many people said, you guys got to get together because there's good.
Yeah, I remember. 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I was calling him. He was busy. I was busy. It's like put a call and then 1 month later another, and he was working on 10 projects. So once all the dust settled, we kind of connected a couple of times at mutual friends' homes and said, wait, why don't you come on board a little bit this year?
So now I'm here.
Wow, a miracle maker and a miraculous meeting. Yeah, all this goodness coming out of it. Wonderful.
And just from this, we're going to continue on. And because he's so politically connected and knows a lot of people that I don't know, and I know a lot that he doesn't know, we're going to start putting these parties together like, you know, every other month. For politicians and raise money for people and do a project for the homeless together, which is going to be
beautiful.
A
Miracle Makers, what you just heard was Lisa describe the vision of what is coming. Miracle Makers, you can create whatever you want to based on creating the vision first, and the people that come into your life will help implement that vision. When you have a concern and you take action on it, creating a vision is taking action on a concern, you then create power. You empower yourself. If you have a concern and you're not taking action on it, visualizing, creating a prayer, picking up the phone, or introducing people, if you have a concern and you're not taking action, you create within yourself depression. And one of the key things that you can do, Miracle Makers, is really, truly notice what truly is a concern of yours. And right now, politics in this country is such a concern of everyone that is watching what's happening to our laws, to our Constitution, to everything outside of us. And so visionaries, legendaries, those that create are creating the vision now. So in a few years from now, the elected officials will represent the people, grassroots people. More and more importantly, they will be empowered. Every concern you take a vision, an action, a step on. Miracle makers, you're getting more and more power within yourself. Baby, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, but that's all true. And so I would like to hear how Lisa does it, because it's not, obviously it starts with that. You have that concern. It's like, what? I see something in the world that doesn't resonate with me, and I'm going to make a change.
Yes.
And then you start gathering resources and gathering people and setting dates and declaring this is what you're going to do, and then it manifests in a beautiful way. So I would love to hear what that was for you when this started out. What was that concern or that seed that sparked this that has led to the Legacy Gala?
Well, about 3 years ago, I was coaching, and I still coach. I've been doing that for about 12 years. But I started seeing with clients, like you were talking about, depression.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone was going, I'm broke, or my relationships aren't working. Everyone has nothing in their life is working. I need the right job. I need the right people in my life. And so many people wanted to come on my retreats and workshops because they have no friends. And it's like built-in friends that someone had to speak to them. Because there's duos and trios and you have to spend the day together. Like, why are you here? Oh, because I'm lonely. I'm like, oh my God, a room full of lonely people who are just totally lost. And there was something beautiful about that they said, I'm going to do something about it. And there was something really, really sad, saying these people are in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and don't know how to make a friend. And they don't know how to get a job. They don't know how to find their vision. So I thought, okay, I need to do something more than one-on-one or creating one-day workshops. I used to take people to Tanzania or different other places, Costa Rica, Bali, wherever, and take 12 to 15 people and go do work and build orphanages or help build schools and all that. But I couldn't do that anymore once I had a child and she's in school and it's a little more challenging. So I thought, what can I do here that could really help people and inspire people? I always tell people, anytime you're depressed, go do something for someone else. Yes. You could always put a backpack in your car, fill it with goodies, with, what you were talking about earlier, of helping a homeless person, just start passing out like a little care package.
Yeah.
And that'll make you feel better. Go to read to old people in hospitals, go do something. But some people just don't have the, that get up and go. They don't know like who to call, how to start, or they don't.
They don't have even the confidence. They don't have within themselves a knowing that you have to spend a little bit of time being afraid to do something. Picking up the phone is scary. Calling can be scary. But the second you do it, just like the first time you took your first steps, you fell down a few times. And we know that everyone who fell and took, as long as they kept trying to walk, and today everybody that's capable of walking is walking because they kept trying and didn't make it mean anything. They didn't say, oh, look at me, I don't have good hair and I can't walk. They just continued to try. And somewhere along the way, the confidence to try was lost. And sometimes it was when we heard the word no growing up, or the idea that we have to be perfect. If someone does it, if we don't know how to do it quite yet, that we're not going to be able to learn unless someone else is holding our hand, sitting right next to us, saying, you've got to do this. I remember the way that I learned to pick up the phone and call people. I wrote out the script. I literally wrote down on a notebook everything they could possibly say, because I am a village girl. I was born in a village. I moved to the States, but went to college, with my family at a young age. But my parents were young, and they didn't teach me how to pick up the phone and call, how to get a job, how to do all of those things. They thought school was going to teach us. They thought we would be educated on all of those different skill sets that we need to have. So I sat down and I wanted to apply for jobs. And the first phone call went so badly. And I was in tears by the end of it, and I was petrified. And I'm like, okay, what are all the questions they could possibly ask me? And I wrote down all of the questions, and then I wrote down all of the answers, and then I wrote down responses, and then I started making phone calls. And when I was in college, I didn't have my parents gave us $50 a week, gave me $50 a week. And I didn't know I could ask for more money. Like, I didn't know I could ask my parents that I needed more than $50. So I wound up working 3 jobs in college and going to college full time, because where I didn't speak to my elders, I didn't ask for anything. I was petrified. So I learned how to get, and I worked at an insurance company, Mutual, what is that? And it's such a MetLife. It's MetLife. It has Snoopy, right? Snoopy is, and they had me to be a telemarketer, because the first phone call I made to them, I had all the answers right there that they asked, because I had written them down on a piece of paper. And so Miracle Makers, the self-confidence comes. It comes from just the first phone call, I bombed. But the second phone call, the third, the fourth, but by the time I got to MetLife, they gave me a job because I wrote down the answers and I learned, and I was committed to being in college. I was committed to completing that course. That's a great, thank you. That was so great.
It's true. And some people you have to, they say, even if I call, I don't get through, or, you know, there's no availability. Like we do every month, we go and sing or perform at hospitals, and I get, you know, my friends, Hollywood friends together and children together to go do that. And I had someone call and see, and they go, oh, can we come to the hospital and, you know, perform? They said, no, we don't do that. Oh, okay, bye. I'm like, what are you doing? I do that. And I'm like, okay, watch. And then I get on the phone. Hi, we're this organization, this nonprofit, and we want to, you know, spread the word, spread love. We want to come and play with your children and give them toys and instruments, and we want to do face painting and make this a special day. And we're superheroes. We want all you guys wearing superhero T-shirts, and we bring these magical capes, and we want to come and bring magic for a day. Oh, when? How do you do it? Let me contact my manager. Then boom, boom, boom. We were booked. And then you're like, oh my God. So it's really how you vibrate and how you share what it is you want to do. So you got to be clear be clear on your intention, on your vision. Like, my intention is to shift at least one person, if not 300 in the audience, to make one contact. You know, it's networking, to make one contact that could change their life, that they could partner up with, like Romulo and I. Together, he's got stuff, I've got stuff. You could make magic. Find one person that you can make magic with and change your life. It's not there just for the food and drink and entertainment, which is all great. It's there to shift you. Our world needs love. Our world needs change. So we've got to get out there and make a difference. Somebody does. So we could get, you know, all these people in the room to go do one thing. How amazing is that? Then it's worth everything.
So beautiful. Whispers from the Children's Heart. Then the foundation that you go out and you sing to these kids that have cancer are in the hospital to play together. That vibration frequency. And Romulo, what drives you in politics with your family? You've been part of this world. What I know Lisa's heart, this golden heart of love, of giving, of creating, the legacy and love for children, to give so wholeheartedly. In politics, most people think there's not a lot of heart in politics, and yet you sit with the biggest heart here, and I've witnessed some of the miracles you've made in the community by bringing recognition from politics in. What drives you?
Well, my family, I live here like almost 35, more than 35 years. But my family, my father, they are all politicians in Venezuela. I'm from Venezuela. But I came here and I started to be in the entertainment business, you know, doing different things. But I got this like a natural, you know, all the political people here in Los Angeles. I'm getting in contact with them. I did a lot of fundraising for different politicians. For me, it's easy, but I take that for like a natural part. The real thing that I love to do is help in different ways. Help another person. So that's, I think that is the combination that I got, so I can be part of the community, and the leaders of politicians, they are the ones that take the decision for us. So we need the connection so we can make the change.
We need the connection to make the change. And baby, I know you had a question earlier.
Not a question, but what Lisa said about you find someone to make magic with. That sounds like a great plan, Miracle Makers. Having support like we do with the Mastermind, there's just other people to connect with and to receive support with. Finding someone else to make magic with is such a great thing. You can make magic by yourself, and if you can do that, do that. But finding others to make magic with is so key. That was so beautifully said.
Yeah, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, truly.
So many people are afraid of, I don't want to give my contacts away, I don't want to give my money away, I don't want this. You isolate yourself, and the more you isolate, that's what you bring towards you. You bring that selfishness, so everyone's repelled by you, and you're going, why can't I make this connection, or why can't I do that? It's because of you're resonating at a certain vibration, and they're picking up at it. They're like, I don't want to get involved with that, or it just doesn't work for them, or when you put the word out, you don't attract. They'll go, how do you fill up a room? Well, by who you are. You go out there and you explain what you're doing, and you meet people, and you shake hands, and you have people over, and it happens. You can't just put out an ad in the paper and then expect to fill up a room. Yes.
And I love one of the people. I'm going to have our engineer call Emmanuel Kelly.
Yes, Emmanuel. We love our Emmanuel.
We love our Emmanuel so much. One of the key things that happens when you invite connection, and you invite connection by being very, very clear. When I met Emmanuel, he shared with me his desire to be the differently abled, a super recognized rock star and differently abled. And he shared this vision of how he saw himself. It was so incredible. And to be able to share, that vision with Lisa. And when at the last Legacy Gala, he was such a surprise that came in to the Legacy Gala, and everyone there, everyone felt his heart, this pure intention. He's so clear. His voice is so beautiful. Intention to bring peace to the world, to bring love to the world through, and everywhere he went with this pure intention, he's opened doors and opened things. And so I sent him a note. If we can get him on the phone, we'll have Emmanuel Kelly calling in. We'll be surprising him a little bit.
Yes, and Emmanuel Kelly was born in Iraq, and he was found in a shoebox when he was a couple days old and taken to the Mother Teresa orphanage. And then at age 5, he was adopted by an Australian woman who is like Mother Teresa. She's a living saint who goes around the world. And yes, Maura Kelly, who goes around the world and finds kids in need and takes them back to her country and gets them medical help. And then she finds godfathers for them and godmothers and builds this team to help support her vision of really finding beautiful souls and giving them a quality life that they deserve. And it's just remarkable. So his dream was to be a performer and a singer. So he's been working on that. And he was on X Factor at age like 19 or something. And he got 90 million hits and likes. And after that, he was on different things. And I think through you, we met Emmanuel Kelly through another friend, a mutual friend. And I had him come perform at the Legacy Gala. And from there, Philip Lawrence was there, who helped produce Bruno Mars and writes all the songs and produces, picked him up as an artist. And from that, he was working on music, and then he got called to do Coldplay. So now he just was on tour with Coldplay in Australia. And that got so much attention. And now he got a TV show and a reality show that they want to follow him around. And Philip Lawrence is writing songs for him, so his career is really taking off. And he will be at this year's Legacy Gala too, and next year's.
And you adopted him.
I adopted him.
You adopted him here in Los Angeles, and he calls you mom. And it's the most extraordinary thing. One introduction, one friendship, one love. When we really don't necessarily take ownership,
Yes.
What I mean by that is we're not protective of what we have when we give it out freely. And one of my favorite sayings is you can't outgive God.
Mm-hmm.
You really, truly can't outgive what gives to us. Everything comes from there. And as much as you can, and you are such evidence of that for me. Everywhere I see you going, everywhere, when you have a concern, you create a buzz around it. You create a vision. With your coaching, all of Hollywood that comes and coaches with you winds up having more insights because they get this magnetic attraction factor that you naturally ooze all over, and you've now put it together in a formula that allows them to be able to follow it to where they're oozing with love and magnetism and charisma.
Yes, it's about really finding their essence. And
Yes.
it's like a sculptor, and you're like chipping away at their, cage that they're wearing and their masks, and you're peeling it all off and saying, just let yourself shine through. And it's
Yes.
amazing. One of the speakers at the Legacy Gala, he's a wonderful person. He's a relationship coach. And I wanted him because he's done amazing things. He's traveled the world many times performing for, Prince, Michael Jackson, among others. And he tells me his speech, and I'm just like, huh? It's just like, oh, my wife and I have been married this long, blah, 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 and this is what I do. And I'm like, no, this is like a, small workshop relationship coach. I'm like, tell me your deepest, darkest secret. And he's like, what? I go, what's your deepest, darkest secret? And then he told me, and I said, okay, tell me something in childhood about your parents, that really bothered you or that you didn't connect with this. And he started telling me that. And I'm like, okay, you marry this with that and you do this with that. And he has this phenomenal speech now.
Wow.
That's like a great TED Talk. And he's going to be shining so bright at the Legacy Gala. And he's never done this before. So it was like in 45 minutes, gave him his hero's journey.
Yes.
Joseph Campbell's hero's journey.
That's
you got to go
what
out in the world and then come back.
Yes.
But people don't know their journey. They don't know their self-worth. They don't know what they've been through because they're the ones that went through it. So I try to go, no, you are a miracle maker. You are magical. You have so much inside you. You just got to, let others see it and not be afraid to shine because we need light bearers.
Yes.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's so perfect because our class that we just taught, we're teaching the Miracle Makers Mastermind, the Hero's Journey, and all of the 17 steps, one of which is whatever you couldn't give language to as a kid, the atonement step, the father figure that comes in. And it's so beautiful because you help in these galas, in the coaching. That's one of the things you help people put words to the abstract of what they don't know their super skill set is, their soul blazing skill set is, and to find that and marry that with what they love to do. Joseph Campbell, follow your bliss.
Yes.
And doors will open for you.
Yes.
Really, truly following your bliss. Much of our culture around the world focuses on therapy culture. And therapy says dig in deeper to what didn't work and let's figure out why it didn't work. And then it'll be solved. Whereas the new formulas are follow your bliss, and that will aliven you, blaze you, make miracles for you come through. What else do you love to share and teach so we've got so beautifully get clear about your message, but you've got vision, really share your vision, magnetize, miracle makers, if you're listening to this, magnetize, know your story and the hero's journey. What else do you add to that?
Well, I'm creating 2 products because I just got asked to speak in Dubai and London by this big hotel chain, and they also have it in France and Italy and Greece. So I might start doing once a year for a month traveling to Europe. They want me to start this year, but I don't know if I'll do it this year. I might start next summer because I've got a lot on my plate already. But so I'm creating keynote speaking in a box.
Yes.
So basically it's a course, an online course where you just take it where you really don't need me, where I'm creating all these videos and teaching people how to get your hero story and how to create a life you want and how to, make money at it, how to speak for free, how to get on cruise ships, how to fill up a room, how to monetize, and how to just give back.
Yes.
So all these different avenues that speaking can give, because I was in Europe with my daughter in Spain, and I started teaching at all the schools for free with a book, Whispers from Children's Hearts, where I interviewed orphans from around the world. And I didn't want to get paid because this is speaking to third graders to sixth graders. And you got to give back. That's Miracle Makers. You have to give back. That's the biggest message. Because when you give back, everything comes to you. It's like I give back, then do you want to come speak in Dubai and London? We want to pay you $20,000 a speech. Plus you could sell everything. Plus we're flying you out here and putting you in a hotel. And it's like, okay, but why did they want me? Because they went to my website. They said, look at the work you're doing for children. Look at this work. So it came from that.
Yes.
So you never know where it comes from. Then it comes from connections. I happened to meet somebody in the airport in the VIP section in London who worked for hotels and whatever. And I told him my story. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, I just got done speaking at all these schools and I had my daughter there and this is what we're doing. So he Googled me. So he was the one that been following me for 2 years and then met those people and they're looking for someone to open up this hotel chain. They go, oh, you should have her. She's so big in the US and she's done this and she's done that. And so they called after seeing all my work combined, not just speaking, because I speak, but that's not my biggest thing. If you Google me, it's really about the charity work and it's about coaching. But they said, based on this, you have something to teach. You've been to over 80 countries and you've had all these experiences with people all over the world. And that's what we want. We're all one, we're global, and we need a global speaker who could connect to our whole audience who stays at these international hotels.
Yes.
And if I wasn't open to sitting there talking, everyone's on their iPhone and answering, hi, how are you? When you say hi, you
Just
open
imagine.
yourself up. How are you? What do you do? You have told hotel chains, oh, wow, this is what I do. And you just open that dialogue and you act interested in them too. It's not all about you. What do you do?
Yes.
And you ask those questions. Then you're bringing, mutual support and love and admiration. And they feel that, oh, I was seen and heard. When someone feels seen and heard, they'll open every door for you.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And you do that so beautifully, the being seen and heard. And that's not something that you have to go have a degree for.
Nothing. You don't need anything. I know someone who's teaching. He's I just met him a little while ago. He's teaching in schools all over. He's making so much money. He just has a high school diploma. And he was a second grade teacher. I'm like, who made you who you are? Why do you speak all over? He's booked all over for a year. He makes $500,000 a year speaking. And I said, what is so special about you? What is your unique selling formula? And he said, I have passion for speaking. And he's charismatic and he gets up there and he teaches and he's silly and people get excited just because of who he is. And so people see that and we need someone fun.
Yes.
And he has a message.
And he has a message. That clarity, starting with clarity is so important. Then the vision, the magnetism, truly, truly being open. Truly knowing that there's nothing missing in the moment. It's not going to be found on your cell phone because you can find it later when you're by yourself. If you're in a VIP section at an airport, go talk to somebody. If you're in a restaurant
always
eating
be
by,
open. Always be open. Yes.
And when you've got a vision, and you're following your bliss, know that doors will open for you. Doors are relationships. Doors are people. Miracle makers. Doors are requests. Follow your bliss and make requests to have what it is that you intend to have in your life show up.
And you don't need a PhD. You don't need to have come from a big family. You don't need to have all these friends already. You go out and build that. When I travel, I did this for like the first 15 years. I used to get off a plane, not even get a hotel, and I'm by myself in India, China, all through Budapest, Amsterdam. And then I get a hotel room sometimes for one night, or I find someone. I go to a cafe, can I stay with you? And I stay at people's houses. I go, I'll pay you. I just want the experience of knowing who you are. I wanted to meet people. I was so hungry. I would go to, even in Amsterdam, behind the glass mirrors, the prostitutes. I pay them to sit there and talk to them. Who are you? What made you choose this path? And when you hear their stories, you have so much more respect for them. They had no family. Their parents are starving.
Yeah.
They're sacrificing to give, and it just changes your perspective on everything. I went and stayed with Muslims in caves in Wadi Rum and Petra before everyone was so afraid of them. I think people have been that for a while, but being Middle Eastern, I have a different view. And they're welcoming me into their homes and stay in this cave. I stayed in a cave with 5 Muslim men all by myself. Now I wouldn't do it. But, but when you're open, you don't attract that. And someone said, aren't you scared? One of these Muslim men, you're all by yourself. I said, why would I be scared? I don't attract that kind of energy.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are with other people. You're not going to be that way with me. And it's like, oh, okay, that's clear. But when you set that intention, somehow they abide by it because... So you have to just get out there. And I have a friend now who you just met who just spent 20 years in prison for, for doing some shady things. But he was very successful. He owned a chain of stores and then got greedy, whatever. And then he started creating a program speaking for kids after 15 years where they'd bring kids from the outside into the prison to say, this is your future if you keep doing what you're doing. And he had such a passion for it. He started reading about Wayne Dyer and all these great speakers, and he got so good at it. So he had life in prison, and they let him out.
Yes.
Because now he's speaking at school. So, I mean, this is a guy with no college degree, 20 years in prison. I won't go into all the details of what he did, but now he is speaking, he's creating, he's shifting all these lives.
He got still in prison
yes.
and found his purpose for being here. And that path that he took, the shadow work, all the shadow of all the pain that he created that landed him in prison, he created something to give back with that pain so others wouldn't have to go through the pain that he was going through now.
Yes, and there's so many people saying, I was in prison, it's impossible for me to get work, nobody will hire me. It is possible. Everything is possible, people. Everything is possible. You just have to open yourself up to the possibilities and go within instead of out. Go and talk to a tree, sit in nature, let God speak to you, channel what you're supposed to be doing because the answer is within you. It's great to read and study great people and do everything we've been talking about to reach out to others and let them in because we're all one. So me letting you in, I'm just learning another aspect of myself. Working with Romolo, I'm learning other aspects of myself. He brings things out in me that I didn't know was there.
Yes.
Hopefully I do the same, but we're all connecting and combining our energies, and that's all we do. But you also have to do that with the universe because we were born here. The universe gave us life.
It's so incredible. The other day that I was speaking on a panel and I shared on this panel that I'm not afraid of dying because I understand energy. We are all, to me, energy, and we go partner with other people's energy. That oneness comes through when we're truly open and receptive to feeling and connecting with each other. Miracle makers, when you're really receptive to feeling and connecting, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 4. Like fine-tuned instruments, we create more together than just the sum. And I'm not afraid of dying, for one, because I know the frequency that I carry. And everywhere I go, and you're sharing the same thing, you went all over the world without this fear, and thus you got to meet the most interesting, beautiful people. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we love to do is take people to Egypt, and we travel with the unofficial minister of tourism there, and to us it's one of the safest places. What you read in the news, what you're seeing is not what is actually occurring. And we stay with people. We stay on a yacht, and we go into the villages. This year, we're also going to Petra. We aren't staying in caves with people in Petra. We're staying at fine first-class hotels, castles that have been converted to lodges or yachts that are for royalty that we get to use for our trips. What's amazing about that is when we're there, the things that we didn't know about ourselves begin showing up, just like when you meet another person. And I had the pleasure of traveling to Venezuela. Yeah. I did to Marguerite Island.
Margarita is beautiful.
It's such an extraordinary island. And I was such a naive kid. when I traveled there, I left all of my stuff in a Jeep that we rented, and all of our stuff was taken out of the Jeep when we went to like the beach. We were like 10 minutes away. It was taken when we came back, and we just told the hotel that we were staying in all of our stuff was taken. And the hotel was so kind on this island. They comped our stay. The Jeep got comped, meaning when they learned what it was. And the only thing we had in our little, we wore fanny packs back then. The only thing we had was our passports to get and to get in and out. But everyone there was so kind. That Miracle Maker frequency back then, the soul blazing frequency, we weren't freaked out like what's going to happen. The people there were like, we're so sorry. We don't want you to have a bad experience of this place that we're in. We'll take care of everything. I know you don't have clothes other than what you're wearing. We can't help you with that because it's such a tiny island at the time. Back then, they didn't have a lot of the hotel. Probably now it has a clothing store that would have comped us clothes or whatever. People take care of people when you are a person in their presence, and you share what's going on for you in the most innocent, respectful manner that you can.
Absolutely. Just networking. We've been networking at all these parties to bring people together and to get them to come to our event. And watching Romolo in action, everyone's saying, I go to those, I don't like to go to them. You never meet anybody, nobody, you don't follow through and nobody comes. But watching Romolo, it's been so beautiful because of who his soul is.
Yes.
He goes up there and he connects and he's hugging people, like they're his brothers. And then he says, oh, you got to come to this event. Then he always asks them, what are you doing? Like there's a couple of artists. Then he knows celebrities, famous Venezuelan actors. You come here, pose in front of this guy's painting. And it's just automatically giving back. Here, come take a picture with this person. You need to meet her. Oh, you're doing paint. You got to meet Sue. Sue's got hotel chains. And he's not just, what can you do for me? He's like, oh, I know you can do this and you could do. I'm watching him. I'm like, whoa, that is a master in action. And I'm going, people go to these and they say, I don't even meet anyone because they're sitting at the table waiting for everyone to come up to them. Or they talk to them and just say, this is what I'm doing. Help me. Come do this. Come do that. And they're like, why do I have to help you? Because they're not giving of their whole heart and soul, and they're not connecting. It's not like Romolo, everyone's his brother, his sister.
Yes.
And he's connecting and saying, let's all do great things together. What are you doing? And connects them right there on the spot. Boom. It's like a Rolodex in his head. That person over here, let me take you here. And his foot was hurting. His knee was hurting. He could barely walk. And he's walking all the way over there and all the way back and all over here. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got my 4-inch heels on. I'm like, I got to take these off and sit down. Romolo, he's boom, 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 boom. One more, 30 more minutes. And because he was having so much fun because it was the art of connection. It wasn't, there's a beautiful fable about, these guys who are building a castle. And this tourist was coming by, and this one guy's carrying this heavy stone. He's like, what are you doing? Oh, I have to carry this heavy stone all day, every day. And he was sweating and depressed. And then another guy was carrying a heavy stone. He goes, what are you doing? He's like, I'm building a temple, So that's Romolo. He was making connections, and every connection was building the temple of the legacy gala of giving back or of helping children. It wasn't, oh my God, I've got to talk to another person to get them to come here. It was like, I'm giving them a gift. I'm inviting them someplace where this is going to shift their life. And while I'm at it, I'm going to set them up with a connection here that's going to shift their life in 2 ways, like a twofer. And the response and reaction you get from that is, that's a class. I was in a Romolo class. And everyone should pay attention to that.
Yes.
Because at this event, we're having Akuyo Graham, who does recidivism work. We have Ricky Bayers Beckwith, the wife of Michael Beckwith of Agape Church. And she works with Kumba Kids and created this whole arts program for children. And she's a performer, a singer, a dancer. She's incredible. And we got Maria Conchita Alonso, who's going to perform and sing. She's created a new record, and she has 2 new songs out. We've got Sue Wong, who's extraordinary. She's a fashion icon, now building boutique hotels all over, and she's going to share her legacy and how she did that. And We're having her models there, seat people, and Motown's coming. We're going to have Motown performers. That's where we have to go now right when we leave here. Yeah.
Wow.
To meet with Motown and Ricky Byers with Kuumba in Motion and Hub City Live.
Yes.
To found something in our own backyard that will wind up being an international location that people are coming to. It's a Kuumba City in Motion, or Kuumba in Motion. Is a school for children. It's child-led. Hub City Live, a community center. Motown, again, started by someone with a great vision and magnetism and asking for help and creating from that all the speakers that you're having there. And I went and I met so many people that are now my friends from going to your last Legacy Gala, connections, not just bringing people there, but staying connected afterwards. And you have gatherings afterwards as well. This winds up being a launching pad to really doing great work in the community. And is Michael Beckwith speaking as well?
I'm not sure. He has an engagement that came up that he may have to be out of town. He got some emergency, but it's still he's figuring it out.
He's our 2003. We met. I think we've got 5 minutes left, and I think Emmanuel Kelly is calling us now. He's on? Oh, Emmanuel!
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hi. We're so happy to. We're talking about last Legacy Gala and how amazing it was for you to come in and sing.
It was terrible. No, I'm kidding. It was awesome. So good.
So you're in studio, and we've got only about 5 minutes. And what does Legacy Gala mean to you, Emmanuel?
Legacy Gala to me means family, means love, means fun, means energy. It means, to me, it means something that words can't really describe, honestly. And Lisa is an incredible woman who wants to do incredible things. She's not only a woman that's filled with love, but she's a woman that's just got enormous, great, happy energy that she wants to project to the world and change it and make it better. And I love what she does and the values that she represents and what the values of the Legacy Gala represents, which is what I said, love, hope, all those sort of stuff, belief. And if it wasn't for the Legacy Gala and if it wasn't for that night, I wouldn't be signed to Philip Lawrence of the Bruno Mars camp, who essentially discovered and created Bruno for the man he is today. So, I'm a very lucky man to sign to the Bruno Mars camp and Philip Lawrence, Bill Maher Records, and it was because of that Legacy Gala that I'm in a part of the Legacy Gala that I'm in the position that I am today, and because of Lisa.
It's so beautiful, Emmanuel. We love. What are you going to be performing this time around?
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Surprise. Can't tell anyone.
Yeah, Emmanuel really lit up the stage because he has such powerful energy, because he's so positive and he's so he can do anything and he inspires everyone. I mean, I think you were the highlight of the show last year, Emmanuel.
We were all in tears.
Everyone was in tears.
In tears all the way up to the stage. So Emmanuel came in through the back, and his performance at what was it in Australia? What was that called? Voice in Australia?
The X Factor.
The X Factor. Your performance on X Factor went up first. I forget how many millions and millions 90 million plus views on that. And then you emerge from the back of the room singing Imagine All the People. It was quite extraordinary after we were already in tears for all that had occurred before. When we thought it couldn't get any better, you appeared in the back of the room and all the women swooned. Like, who is this guy? Oh my gosh. So handsome, so kind, so loving. And We're so excited to see you this year at the gala.
I am too. It's going to be amazing. And I'm excited. Make sure everyone gets there, as many people. We want to explode that room into another dimension. We want to go crazy.
Love the vision.
I love Dimension, yes.
Yes.
The love dimension. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. We're so glad that you're here. But what was it like to be on stage with Coldplay?
You know what? That was amazing. Those guys are an incredible bunch of young men who just, well, I mean, I'm younger than them, of course, but they're an incredible bunch of men who are just, who love being on stage because they love making people happy, not love being on stage because they're making money or whatever it is. It's they love being on stage because they love making people happy and doing something incredible with their art. And I'm blessed to have been there, and I'm honored that they chose me, and I'm excited to do some special things with them over the next short-term future.
I love that you got to surprise your Australian mom, Maura Kelly. That video.
She got a big surprise. That woman. Yeah, no. She got a. I was in the. It was funny because she was being presented with an award, and when she was being presented with this award, I was in the next room, and she had no clue I was even in the country, and I was only in the next room. So I had to be silent, otherwise she would have heard me there. And when I went on that stage and then saw her on the side of the stage, going crazy and kind of full of surprise, that was an incredible moment for me. It was magic.
That's so beautiful. Emmanuel, I'd love for you to let Lisa know what you think of her, because Lisa is your American mom.
Lisa is my American LA mummy. That's what she is. I love her to bits, and I love her daughter Ava to bits, who's like my sister, and Lee is also the Papa Bear in the family. He just doesn't know it yet.
He'll learn.
They're an absolute incredible family, and I absolutely love them to bits.
Well, we love you to bits.
Emmanuel.
We love you so much. Thank you so much, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Absolutely, I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
It's so fun. Thank you for calling in and for us being able to reach you, or we called you, however that magic happened. And
we're here. That's all that matters.
We're here. Thank you for being a miracle maker. Our class loves you, and they're so excited that you're going to come back when you have time. The
awesome.
Miracle Maker Mastermind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lisa.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you. Romula, I think, is there, and Lisa, thank you to you too as well. You're kicking butt, and I look forward for an awesome evening, and to you as well. Sarah, I love you to bits as well, and you're an incredible woman, you and your family. So we love being a part of your lives. So thank you.
Thank you. We love you being part of our lives.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Woo.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
honey.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
God bless, guys.
God
bless.
Thanks. We've just got a minute left, and for our miracle makers, Lisa, Romulo, we'll start with you, and then we'll move around. Okay. What would you leave our miracle makers with? Those that are listening, just one clear message for those that want to be like you.
Well, I think that you have to do what you feel like you do and give something back. So give something back wherever you have to others. So you're gonna be feeling better and happy.
Feeling better and happy. Yeah. Give something back. That's such a clear, beautiful message. Lisa, what would you add for the miracle makers? I'm so grateful. You were so busy, and you made time for this, for us, for all of the miracle makers to hear this beautiful thing that you have, this frequency within yourself. What would you share with them? What message?
I'm going to go with this. There's 10 messages. But I'm going to go with complimenting you. The reason I'm here is because I love you so much. And everything we talked about in this session stems from connection. And I see your light, and because of you, I met Emmanuel. Because of you, we're all connected. We have such a strong friendship circle.
Yeah.
And you and I are truly sisters, even though we don't see each other all the time, but that's going to shift. And I'm here because of you. And if you're not there for people you love and care about, you know, I'm going, there's no way I can make this today. What am I doing? But it's like, there's no option. You just put it in the calendar and say, I'm going to make it happen. It's just, you can't say no to certain people, because the work you're doing and how you're shifting lives is important too. It's just important as a legacy gala. This show is, your masterminds are, everyone who goes to your masterminds gets, oh my God, I'm blown away by Sarah and what a great intuitive she is, and what a great, you know, just psychic and spiritual healer and leader. So why aren't I going to support that? Am I going to be too busy? No.
Yeah.
Not in this lifetime.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. And we're, I have yet to be in a room with you and not cry.
That's true, actually. Even at my house.
Even at your house, we're crying.
And I just want to say one quick thing about Romulo real quick, because it was funny. We had someone over, we had volunteers helping us, and then this volunteer could really use some of his connections. And he's like, oh, I'm just giving him all these connections that I collected over these years. So I'm like, why? Those are like, you know, sacred. You could like sell. He's like, what am I going to do? Put them in the freezer? He's like, this is a really beautiful soul, and he could help change lives. I'm going to share. What else am I going to do with it? And I just thought, and so many people I know are like, this is mine, and you know. So give.
Miracle Makers, we close with that. We love you. Oh,
give.
Thank you.
The past is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift.